Hi, and welcome to a Life Soul podcast, where we explore personal growth, high performance, and intentional living. I am Wasim Balani, and I believe life isn't just about getting through the day, it's about becoming fully alive in everything we do. Through my journey, whether in medicine as a heart rhythm cardiologist, cycling and running, or personal development, I have learned that success isn't just about reaching goals, but about who we become along the way. This podcast is here to inspire and challenge you to push your limits, cultivate discipline, and live with purpose. Join me each week as we dive into ideas, reflections, and practical strategies to help you grow into your best self. So let's get started. Hello everyone, and welcome back to a Life Soul podcast. I was thinking about something this week that really made me pause. I've just released more than 40 episodes of this podcast, and when I stopped and reflected on that, I didn't feel proud as much as I felt humbled. Because less than a year ago, none of this existed. This podcast didn't exist. These conversations didn't exist. This moment, me talking and you listening, didn't exist. And then a simple question hit me. What if I never went for the idea of the podcast? What if I stayed comfortable? What if I talked myself out of it? What if I told myself I wasn't ready, or that it wasn't the right time? This entire podcast would have never seen the light. And that stayed with me. See, when the idea of starting a podcast first came to me, it didn't come with clarity or confidence. It came quietly. And honestly, my first reaction wasn't excitement, it was hesitation. I didn't know how to podcast. I didn't know the technology. I didn't know how to edit or publish. And I didn't know if anyone would listen. It would have been very easy to say, maybe later. I'm too busy. I'm not ready yet. And that's usually how ideas die. Not dramatically, but quietly. But instead of me burying the idea, I told myself I'm just going to give it a real chance and see where it goes. Not because I felt ready, not because I knew what I was doing, just because I didn't want to ignore it. So I decided to do it. I learned how to. I struggled. Recording the first episode was kind of awkward, but I showed up anyway and continued to be consistent, recording every week, even when motivation was low. And here we are now, more than 40 episodes in, thousands of listens. And none of this would exist if I had decided back then I'm not going to go for it. This podcast simply would not have seen the light. And this isn't just about the podcast. It's the same story with my marathon. That medal didn't just appear one day. It started with an idea. What if I could do it? At that time, it felt big, intimidating, easy to talk myself out of. But today, the marathon medal exists for one reason, that I decided to go all in for that idea and didn't walk away when it felt uncomfortable. I trained when I didn't feel like it. I ran when I was tired. I kept going when quitting felt easier. And all that taught me something important, that ideas don't become real just because we're excited. They become real because we believe we're capable of doing hard things, and also because we keep showing up long after excitement fades. Every one of us has at least one story like this. Something meaningful we built, something we're proud of, something that all started with an idea. And when you look back honestly, you realize it wasn't talent, it wasn't intelligence, it wasn't luck. It was believing that you can do something hard. It was consistency, commitment, and the decision to keep showing up when it got hard. Because ideas don't become real when we feel ready. They become real when we decide they're worth working on. And if you really think about it, a lot of things we take for granted today were just ideas in the past. Nothing more than thoughts someone decided not to ignore. Think about Amazon for a moment. When the idea first came to Jeff Bezos, It was a simple one, selling books online at a time when the internet was just beginning. There was no certainty it would work, but the idea wasn't ignored, and over time it became what Amazon is today. Or think about Facebook. When the idea first came to Mark Zuckerberg, it wasn't a global platform. It was a small idea, connecting people online in a more personal way. No one could have predicted where it would go, but the idea wasn't ignored, and that's why it became what it is today. What matters is that they all started the same way, as ideas that could have easily been ignored. The thing in common wasn't certainty, it was action, that determination to bring the idea to life. But then there is the other side of the story. How many ideas never saw the light? Not because they were bad ideas, but because we doubted ourselves, because we feared rejection, because we questioned our worth, because we thought, who am I to do this? Who would even care? See, most ideas don't fail after we try. Most ideas are buried the moment they are born, quietly, privately, without anyone ever knowing they existed except us. Now, when you look closely at the people who built meaningful things, you notice one thing in common. It's not that they're more talented. It's not that they're smarter. What they all share is this. When the idea came to them, they did not walk away. They trusted their ability to learn. They accepted discomfort as part of the process. They acted before confidence showed up. And then confidence followed later. And there's also another layer to this that I cannot ignore. We often tell ourselves, I'll work on it later. Later when life slows down. Later when I have more time. Later when I feel more confident. But the truth is, later might not happen, because tomorrow isn't promised. And every time you postpone an idea, you're assuming you always have another chance. But that's not guaranteed. So let me ask you something. What idea kept knocking on your door? The one that comes back again and again. And every time it showed up, your first response is, I'm not ready. I'm not worthy. I'm afraid of how hard it will be. If that's you, hear me clearly. You're not weak. You're human. And the fear does not mean stop. It usually means you're standing at the edge of something that matters. And the fact that it came to you means you're allowed to try. Because you are worthy. And you can do it. But I won't lie to you. It will be hard. You'll get tired. You'll doubt yourself. But when you reach the finish line, whatever that looks like for you, you won't remember the pain. You'll remember the growth, the strength, the fact that you did not give up. So here's what I want you to do today. Pause whatever you're doing. Open a note. Grab a piece of paper. Write down the idea that keeps coming back to you. Break it into small steps. Choose one step you can take this week. Put it on the calendar. Don't wait for excitement and momentum, because momentum comes from action. So as we're coming to an end, I'll leave you with this. Ideas don't come to us by accident. The idea that came to you because it belongs to you. Not because it's easy, not because you're ready. Because you don't have to be ready. You just have to be willing to take action and make it happen. Most ideas don't die because they're impossible. They die because we keep waiting for the right moment. And the problem is, that moment isn't guaranteed. Because life moves fast, and tomorrow isn't promised. So don't bury the idea. Take action and bring it to light today. Every habit you build, every effort you make, it all adds up. So keep showing up, because the small steps you take today are shaping the person you become tomorrow. That's it for this episode, my friends. And if you like it, please share it with people around you, because we all grow better when we do it together.